There we go. What's up, everybody? It's a brand new episode of Let's Argue. It is a very early Saturday right now. We're up late. We wanted to pump this out so you guys got something to listen to for the weekend before Sunday's matchups in the afternoon. We're here to get you riled up and excited for these upcoming games. This is Final Four teams. It's a big deal. Whoever wins moves on to the Super Bowl. And we're here to fucking argue. We're ready.
Fucking argue, man.
We're coming after y'all. We're hitting y'all with some straight hard facts.
And the first fucking game that we're talking about.
The first game. We got Bengals and Chiefs.
Not the prime time.
Not the prime time. No. They didn't get it. It don't matter though, because everyone's tuning in. Everybody, I'm tuning in. He's tuning in. It's me and Eddie. I gotta catch games. He's gotta catch the games. This is a big deal. Two of the teams that are in the Final Four right now weren't even in the realms of even anyone's afterthoughts at all.
No one thought the two underdogs.
No one thought the two underdogs were gonna be marching their way down the field.
Yeah.
They thought they were gonna be first round. They were literally both announced as first round exits, and now they're still gaining some disrespect because based on the numbers that I'm seeing that they're giving to the Chiefs right now,
by a lot.
They're saying
not by a lot, but by a
7 point spread for a championship game. That's a little ridiculous.
Almost an
8 point spread. That's rough.
That's a backhand to the side of the head.
That's rough, man.
So let's just get right on fucking into this. Joey franchise, Joey fucking Burrow. Okay? People doubting him. People are doubting this man and what him, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Uzma can do on the field. And it's pretty disrespectful to think that the matchup predictor thinks that the Kansas City Chiefs defense can handle this offense.
They got Money Fearson kicking the ball. He is literally marched. Yeah. He's literally carried. I'm not saying carried, but he's literally led this team to the AFC Championship.
That last kick.
He literally looked at his team, was like, yo, you don't even have to get it to the 40.
Yo, just go ahead and start fucking celebrating right now because we're going to the AFC fucking championship, all right?
They knew they had it in the bag.
Go ahead and break out the cigars.
Your quarterback gets sacked 9 times. And it's just like, I got Jamar Chase. All I need is 2 plays.
Yeah.
He ran that shit in 2 plays, and they got the game winner. So to count the Bengals out as much as the media is counting them out right now is disrespectful. They have a much better defense than what is being put out for them. And the Chiefs right now, I don't know is Matthew just got a concussion?
Yeah.
It's just a concussion. So, I mean, he's more than likely going to be there Sunday. But, kind of like the Nick Bosa situation. He was only out for, didn't really participate. He's not going to participate in contact practice. They're probably not going to have contact practices anyways because this part of the season is a lot of just game plans, offensive game plans. The quarterback is 2 of the best quarterbacks, I believe, that are left in the postseason are facing each other right now.
But you said the 2 best quarterbacks in the postseason?
Right now.
You gonna count out Jimmy G?
No. I'm saying like the 2 best quarterbacks are facing off against each other right now.
That's true. Okay.
Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. They are the 2 best quarterbacks left in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, AFC is a little bit more stacked. I wouldn't say more stacked, but quarterback-wise, they got the better quarterbacks. And that sometimes can just win you games just being the game manager. And if Joe Burrow can manage the clock against the Chiefs and keep that offense off the field, basically what the Bengals have over the Chiefs is an excellent run game. And if the Bengals can manage the clock and, put together 5+ minute drives and put points on the board, whether it be field goals or touchdowns each drive, the Bengals' run game is going to control this game. Now, if they start throwing it deep downfield, not killing a whole lot of clock, and doing the shootout situation that they kind of had in their previous matchup, the Bengals still have a chance, but the problem is the Bengals really thrive off their run game because their O-line is their weak point. We've seen that. Their O-line is their weak point just based off the game against the Titans. And the Titans, that was the best defense they were going to face in the whole postseason, I believe. That even if they make it to the Super Bowl, that is probably the best defensive front they were going to face in the postseason. Now they are facing a high-energy, fast-paced Chiefs team that knows that the Chiefs are going to score. The thing about the Chiefs is you're not going to hold the Chiefs down to less than 20 points.
Yep.
So the key to beating the Chiefs, in which the Bengals did this last time, if you can hold them below 30 points and bring it down to a kick and have your defense make some plays on Patrick Mahomes, there's a chance. Now, we also don't know. I don't think anyone specific is coming back from the Chiefs.
No, I mean, Tyrann Mathieu I think
is
it's going to be a game time decision.
Williams playing?
No.
Williams is not playing, so there's
he's still questionable. It's still injury with his toe. I mean, again, that's probably going to be a game time decision, but Darrell Williams, we didn't see him in the last game. It is definitely questionable if he's going to be returning in this game. Obviously, the Chiefs won him, but Edwards-Helaire and his name was McKinnon.
McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon.
They did really good, sharing the load with one another. But the thing that this matchup predictor doesn't show is the Bengals defense can't be slept on.
No, they have a really good, well-balanced. I'm not saying their front is no better than their secondary. Their secondary is what really helps them out. They have a pretty above average, I would say, front. They have a lot of first-year guys that no one hasn't. They're not giving credit to these first-year guys, but I'm pretty sure they had a couple D linemen and defensive ends that came out of the recent draft that haven't really been mentioned a whole lot throughout the season. But they got their numbers. They've had success throughout the season, and I think the Bengals, they had a few games throughout the season. They had a couple beat up guys, I think, throughout the season that didn't. Bengals basically are a much better team than what the media is giving them right now.
100%. We're talking about a team that last week they held Derrick Henry to average of barely 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry
20+ carries.
Derrick Henry did not look
40, 50 yards. Now, granted, he came off an injury, came back after
I think Derrick Henry
weeks.
came back early because they knew they needed him.
I mean, true. And then you got Dante Foreman that ran the ball 3 or 4 times and had 60 yards. But, again, we're still talking about the Bengals defense that stopped King Henry.
They stopped that run game.
Yeah, they did. And that's Tennessee's whole memo. Then
Tennessee did make, just to recap it a little bit, Tennessee made some really questionable calls.
They did. I mean, Tannehill made some pretty poor game time decisions that ended up with 3 interceptions. And honestly, can we blame Tannehill for costing them the game? Yes.
Can we blame the OC not running the ball on, what was it? Was that a 4th and 1 or a 3rd and a half? 1.5 yard to go, and they told Tannehill to get it to the line of scrimmage. It was that was really odd. But
now this matchup though is going to be so interesting to see. It's in Arrowhead. It's going to be loud. But here's the thing though. I mean, Cincinnati just went on the road with Tennessee. There was a lot of Tennessee fans. It was loud as hell in Nashville. So, I mean, obviously, I know maybe some Kansas City fans are going to be listening to this. Kansas City at Arrowhead is loud as hell. probably one of the loudest stadiums to even play at. So I get it, but if any team can walk away and win this game away, it's Cincinnati. Last time they faced was in December. Cincinnati won by 3 points. Again, it was in Cincinnati, but either way, though, we're talking about a Cincinnati team that's young, hungry, that makes big plays, and then we're talking about a Kansas City defense that, I mean, we watched the game.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many broken ankles on the secondary. That was insane, by Gabriel Davis alone. So,
yeah, I mean, Casey, it can't be unnoticed, but I think it went a little unnoticed just how they carried themselves offensively against the Bills.
yeah.
Now that offense with Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, and who else they got? Fuck, I'm forgetting it. Pringle. Yeah, Pringle's kind of like the underdog guy on that team. He did a lot for them in the last game. Casey's weapon is Patrick Mahomes on the scramble. If they can't manage that scramble,
I wouldn't say it's a weapon. It's definitely an unpredictable.
Yeah, because the dude's feet are quick. He's not fast. He's quick. He just evades tackle. He's a big guy. He's hard to bring down. Basically, he can slip his way out quickly. He's got a quick little 10-yard scramble that he pulls off,
first down,
and he gets that first down. And he ran the most that he's ever ran for the whole season in the last game, and he knows that he's gonna have to do that against the Bengals because the Bengals secondary is gonna have, at least for, I'm not saying the whole game, but they're gonna have that team on lock at least in the first half.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, how this game starts, because we saw Cincinnati against Tennessee, how that game started. Tennessee received the ball first. Literally the first play of the game, interception, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Set the fucking tempo, man. So I'm kind of interested to see if they have that same energy coming into this game. Obviously, I know they do. They're away. Obviously, they're showing that Cincinnati doesn't even have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't know why I don't know why they're giving such a lean.
Well, it's probably
advantage.
because it's in Arrowhead. It's in Arrowhead.
I mean, shit. Until the very last 13 seconds, that was an Arrowhead as well. And it almost felt like the Bills were home. I mean, not crowd-wise, but like...
You mean the way they played?
Yeah, the way the Bills came out and played, like, you can only... The way the Bills played, they literally, like, Josh Allen gave his best game of his career.
That he did. That was such a fucking good game, too.
They weren't defending the Bills at all. So, like, and people need to realize the Bills put up 36 points. I think it was 36.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 36 points. And they still lost to the Chiefs.
They put up over 10 in the last minute, 53.
Yeah. So,
the
defense also went without Matthew for that whole, like, 3/4 of the game, I want to say.
Damn near, yeah.
And depending on how Matthew comes back off of the concussion, he's not possibly going to be in as much as they would like. And that's a lot of secondary help.
Yep.
And I know for a fact,
captain for the defense.
Yeah, I know for a fact he's not going to be coming in as much as they would like, because, I mean, this isn't the final game. And they do have expectations to make it. Now, the team that's going to come out on top in this game is basically Chiefs are going to have to come out if they want to win this. And they're going to have to give a lot more defense than what they've been putting out.
Yeah.
Cuz what the Chiefs have been doing is, like, they're really telling Mahomes every game, "Hey man, we need you to put up everything.
You should put up at least 4 tutties get us into field goal
Yeah,
position.
and that's not going to work against every team you play.
No, it's not. I mean,
The Chiefs are very beatable. They are extremely beatable. The Bills really showed it.
And again, I actually heard someone at work say that defenses don't win games.
That's a damn lie.
That was probably one of the stupidest comments I've ever heard.
Because I don't think the Niners would be as far as they are.
Well, yeah, you have a quarterback right now that 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That just showed.
He wins.
I mean, he
wins. He wins. All right. Anyways,
but anyway, yeah. Going back to the Bengals and Chiefs, like the Chiefs have to show up defensive wise. Definitely, Tyrann Mathieu. Will he play every single down? Probably not. But either way, his presence there at the game.
If he plays as much as they hope that he's going to.
Either way, his presence will play a lot in this game.
He control. Yeah, he's a manager. So
it's gonna be all depend. Going back to what I said previous is Cincinnati. How they're gonna come into this game.
This comes down to a kick. Since he gets to win. If it comes down to a touchdown, it's gonna be the Chiefs. If it comes down how it did in OT, where it's like, hey, touchdown ends this. I'm sorry, but the Chiefs are gonna.
You know what? What's crazy? I still think this is gonna be a shootout with Joey.
I hope not. I really hope their defense shows up as much as they should, but
I hope so too. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell already that kind of our favorites were honestly leaning towards the Bengals, just because the matchup predictor is just a backhand to the face. Like the Bengals have overcome the Raiders, Tennessee, first seed in Nashville, and now they're coming to Kansas City with a backhand to the head. I mean, backhand to the face, just a 7.5 point spread.
Yeah. So I think just to lay it all out now, we gotta give the score prediction.
What's yours?
I'm going to go with 27-24 Bengals.
I'm going to go 21-24 Bengals.
I don't think it's going to be that low.
I think it will. I think...
If anything, I'm going to go with 27-24 Bengals winning. And if the Bengals lose, 30-27 Chiefs.
I think it will be that low. I think the Chiefs are going to come out guns blazing, and then they're going to be surprised that, oh shit, Cincinnati actually has a defense. And they're going to put pressure on Mahomes.
If they can get to Mahomes more than the Bills. Bills only got to Mahomes 2 times.
Now, he did hurry a shit ton of times, but either way,
Mahomes, and slightly,
Mahomes got away, and he ran for the extra 20, 30, 40 yards. I mean,
that's the thing, is the linebackers,
right? So
the front has to pick up on the scrambles.
100%. A QB spy can't be just everything. The front has to get to him.
The front has to pick that up. As soon as they see him moving, they got to pick it up. Or else, I'm just saying, whoever has the more in-shape front in this is probably going to win the game. Because this game's going to come down to whose defense is going to show up and make a play. I feel like it's either this game's going to be upset by turnovers.
That'd be crazy.
People got to count in the fact that Kansas City might give up some ball security.
And just to add on to this game, because we're wrapping up with Cincinnati and Kansas City, but Evan McPherson came out and said that he's planning on beating Adam Vinatieri's record of 14 field goals in a postseason. Very well could help.
It could
achieve this goal with this game.
But to kick that many times is really showing where your offense sits.
Yeah, but every point counts, man.
Every point counts. Now, if your kicker's got to kick that much in the next 2 games, if there even is a second game with the Bengals or the Chiefs, this game is going to come down to, I really think it's going to come down...
either a touchdown or a field goal.
Yeah. It's either going to be a huge, dagger type of play from the Chiefs, or it's going to come down to the fact that the Bengals might have just enough time on the clock to get their kicker in range and kick one to seal it.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a close one. I'm hoping it's a close one. If not, there's a possibility that the Bengals come out and upset.
I'm just hoping for another last weekend of football.
Just dominant,
awesome.
Just like crazy, entertaining football. Just like you never knew who was going to come out as the winner. Now, we're moving on to the Niners-Rams games. This will be the third time they face off. 40+% of the sales tickets possibly going to reach 50+, more than likely 50%.
I could have sworn 60% was 49ers.
What I seen, a tweet yesterday came out, 43% was already Niner fans. And it's
I can believe it.
I don't know when they're closing out the sales. But the fact that the Niners are able to put 43% as of yesterday, and we don't even know what happened today. Friday morning, afternoon, because I know people are going to buy tickets. The fact that the Niners are probably going to fill up more than half the stadium, and not to mention they're going off zip code. So, like, Northern California zip code was 43%. So, there's Niner fans in SoCal. So, there's a huge possibility.
This could be a fucking home game.
More than likely, it already was last time, that there's probably going to be 60 to 70% red in that stadium on one side.
The red zone's literally going to be a red zone.
The stadium is going to be loud. Extremely loud. Because it's a dome, I believe. I think it's a dome.
I mean, it's not a dome, but I mean, they have a massive ass cover. I mean, technically. I mean, they modeled it after Jerry. So that's okay. And then Cowboys.
So basically, LA, they came to LA recently. And they never really had an LA fan base. Rams, for the longest time in the NFL, were a laughingstock until like 2017.
I mean, St. Louis, man.
They their whole time in St. Louis, I don't even remember how long they were there.
I mean, up until Kurt Warner left.
Yeah.
They were pretty on the decline. But with
the Rams never really had a solid fan base until, I mean, you could say now they probably have a decent fan base.
Well, they're winning. I mean, any team that really is winning and that's staying in the postseason,
they're gonna have.
There's gonna be
people at this game. This game is, as of right now, like ratings wise, they are predicted to have the most viewers and people in the stands in NFL history.
This is a badass postseason game.
We're going to see
NFC Championship game.
We're going to see teams. This is going to be the highest rated televised game, they said, in NFL history, possibly. Because one, it's prime time. Two, it's in LA, so you're going to get every big name, celebrity. You're going to get every fan. Like, it's two California teams.
Yeah.
You're going to have the whole state of Northern and Southern California showing up to this game because it's an easy game to travel to. It's within the state. Both California teams are in it. They're fighting to go to the Super Bowl. This is huge. This is like what people wish the Super Bowl could be. And whoever wins this, Rams or Niners, it is a home game Super Bowl after the fact. Because the Super Bowl is in LA. So if LA wins it, it's a 100% home game for them because it's in their stadium.
Yeah.
Niners win this. It's been a home game. It's been a home game for them the whole season.
The last 6 time matchups.
It's been a home game for them in the last few matchups that they've had against the Rams. And I'm not saying that they came out and dominated the Rams to a freaking pulp, but they did have a game this season where they dominated the Rams 31-10.
And Tyler didn't even mention this, though. The last 6 times that the 49ers have faced the Rams have taken an L. The last 6 times.
Now, they came out and they said they won. Then the previous matchup, they were going to put the Niners in a body bag. And it was really looking like that. And then it really backfired on them because their head coach got too emotionally involved. He started jumping onto the field. He started celebrating really freaking early with a 17-point lead, which respectfully, that at the moment was an ass whooping in process. But the way they got those 17 points were off mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think the Niners, just because I follow them so heavily, they beat the Packers without Kwan Williams on the field. They went without a couple of key players, actually, in the last game and still won in a frozen field.
Well, they beat the Packers without,
And not to mention, people are knocking Jimmy G for his passing, but he hit George Kittle and Ayuk wide open in a frozen field, which everyone already knew the passing game was going to be a little rough. But they had key drop passes to where that would have been tutties.
Yeah.
Tutties. And now they're in California in possibly the best weather they'll ever be in for the rest of the postseason, just because of where they're located.
It's going to be perfect football weather.
Perfect football weather. I think that's another reason why people are tuning in is that. One, everyone is against the Rams right now. Everyone and their mama is against the Rams right now, just off of how the game went against Brady. A lot of really controversial calls, a lot of iffy, very iffy calls, very iffy decision making by the refs. The Rams actually in their last game.
Yeah,
they won. It was exciting. But here's the issue.
Did they
deserve the Niners have not even come close to the amount of the mistakes that the Rams have made in the postseason.
You did almost 5 turnovers in one game.
Half. In one half.
Regardless of the half, one game.
And they were terrible turnovers. We're talking a 20-yard oversnap. We're talking interception. We're talking fumbles. Cam Akers, fumbled the ball twice?
Cam Akers, and I can't remember who else fumbled, but Cooper Kupp fumbled.
Kupp fumbled. Akers fumbled. Oversnap.
Though this
interception.
This game though is going to be. Just speaking on Cooper Kupp though, it's going to be so exciting to see Cooper Kupp, Debo, that sort of matchup there. It
was last time. It was an incredible matchup last time.
Obviously, 2 different players, 2 different calibers of players. What Debo can do on the field is absolutely insane. What Cooper Kupp can do on the field is absolutely insane. We saw with Tampa how he got open twice to get them into field goal range. With Debo, what he did in the Green Bay game, what he did in the Cowboy game. You don't sleep on either of these players. San Francisco and the Rams, 2 great, phenomenal defenses. I don't think this is going to be a super high-scoring game whatsoever because of the defenses.
It really wasn't last time either. It really picked up towards the end, if anything, just a tiny bit in their last matchup. But, the game was...
Wasn't it decided by a field goal in the last matchup?
It went to OT.
Right?
Yeah, it went to OT.
It was a field goal, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah. Niners were...
Obviously, Niners won. But
Niners won. Niners also, that whole second half, I want to say, shut out the Rams in the third quarter. Almost shut them out in the fourth. Niners put up 10 points in the fourth. Niners are a very second half friendly team. They tend to pick it up. They tend to pull a lot of tricks out towards the fourth quarter. I feel as if they know that if they really want to seal this one up and take it the distance and not have to worry, they're going to bust everything they have. By the way, they don't. The only significant injury is Trent Williams is being decided. Other than that, everyone else is playing. They got Kwan Williams back. He didn't even play in the last game. They were almost. Right now, they already said Trent Williams. Basically, he sprained his ankle, but he plans on playing. Basically, everyone in the last game, Debo looked a little.
Well, Van Jefferson is questionable. I mean, I think that's going to be a game time decision.
More than likely, everyone that's game time decision is going to play in this game, just because it is to make it.
Well, it's the NFC Championship game. This is what. I mean, this is. I think everybody wants to see Kansas City and Niners just because of that matchup in the past.
So they basically, that was voted as the second highest possibility. The highest possibility of Super Bowl right now is
Kansas City and LA.
Yeah, but I don't think LA is getting a lot more. I think they're getting credit for just off the fact of how well they did throughout the season.
I agree.
Their postseason has actually been pretty ugly as of right now. It has not been the cleanest. They're not playing very consistently, actually, ever since they lost to the Niners to finish out the season. They are very, they're an inconsistent offense.
Yeah.
They basically have showed, they have a really good O-line, but they have showed if Matthew Stafford gets to a point where he's being folded up every drive, that he starts forcing things. Now, Matthew Stafford is an incredible QB. He has 2 postseason wins now after being in a drought his whole career.
And Detroit.
We cannot count out LA because you got Odell, you got Van Jefferson, you have Cooper Kupp, you have Tyler Higbee, you have Cam Akers, you have Sony Michel.
There's so many weapons on that team.
You have probably one of the best O-lines in the postseason right now.
And the best defensive front.
The defensive front is there.
As well as the secondary.
The secondary is actually not rated that great.
But still, Jalen Ramsey's going to be
the Niners' key is what they did in their last game. They need to carry over the special teams stepping up. They need to carry over, like, Jimmy wins games as long as Jimmy doesn't make any mistakes. Right. He didn't make any major mistakes in the previous game. That interception he threw was just a late throw because when he threw that ball, the beginning of that route, George Kittle was wide open in the end zone. He was being chased out of the pocket. People have to remember that. He was out of the pocket. He was about to get hit. He held on to it to not take a huge hit and then threw it late. And by the time that happened, the safety, the corner, everyone kind of like bolted down to where he was aiming. So, Niners are a very good offense that can get open. They don't have a quarterback that necessarily makes the throwing plays all the time, but they have a run game that has not been stopped.
That run game is absolutely dangerous. With Debo, Elijah Mitchell, it is pretty insane on what Kyle Shanahan has done to this offense. I'm scared for it.
I believe this game is going to come down to the 4-point spread that they're almost saying. They're saying 3.5.
Yeah.
It's going to be either 21-17 Niners. It's going to be either a defensive performance that the Rams cannot handle. Possibly some turnovers if it's that low. If the Rams are held down like they were already this season, they were held down to 10 points by the Niners. Everyone doesn't want to remember that, but the Niners have dominated the fuck out of the Rams.
Is that your prediction?
And held them to a low-scoring offense, which they're not known for being a low-scoring offense. They've held them down to 24 below this whole season. So, with that being said, I believe the Niners are going to be very well prepared offensively, very well prepared more than probably ever defensively because they have players coming back off of injury. They have and Ambry Thomas and Kwan Williams didn't play in the last game. They are both coming back fully healthy, full participants in this week's practice. Yeah. That's 2 starting DBs coming back into the NFC Championship game that didn't even play last week and beat the number 1 Packers. This isn't even the number 1 team. that they're playing at this point. The Niners have basically beat out the people that they were already.
Yeah, they beat out the number 3.
They beat out the best team.
They beat out the number 3 seed and the number 1 seed, Cowboys and Packers.
And this is already like their confidence level is through the roof. They're basically
been on the way the whole postseason.
They're ready. Who do they want in the Super Bowl? I don't think they even care.
No, because at this point they've been away this whole postseason.
And they've won.
And it hasn't.
They're the only team to win 3 home games in a row this late in the season. I mean, 3 away games this late in the season. And they're about to be away for the 4th. This will be an NFL record if they win 4 away games in a row.
Well, I heard your prediction. Is that your prediction? What was it, 27?
21-17 if it ends up being a defensive game. But if it does not end up being a defensive game, I can easily see it being a repeat of possibly 30-21.
I think it's going to be 31-28. And
I can see it come down to a kick.
I think it's going to be the Niners again. And, I'm not just shooting
and
for
the Niners
underdog.
are the best postseason kicker.
Yeah, I'm not shooting for the underdog. So please, whoever's listening, do not think I'm just biased on this. But at the same time, I'm just looking back at past records. Niners have beat the Rams 6 times last visits. I mean, twice this season. I mean, the Rams have 5 losses. Out of those 5 losses, Niners gave them 2. So, for me, yes, it's at home in LA. But
it's not a home game for LA.
It's not a home game.
If they were facing anyone but the Niners, it would be a home game.
Yeah, it would be.
But the fact that they're facing another California team and the other California team,
Niners travel, man.
LA
it
doesn't
matter that they're from the Bay.
Because they're just the Niners have been in the league for so long. They have fan bases everywhere.
Yeah,
but where LA made a huge mistake, and it really bit them in the ass. Restricting the ticket sales made it way worse. Made it way worse for their situation. If they wouldn't have restricted their ticket sales, they would have never ran into the fact of having to deal with the fact that now now the fan base is pissed off. So now what you did is they don't give a fuck how much money they're spending.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that's something just completely unnecessary that I believe. I mean, at the same time, I get it. It's a home game for LA. You're playing the Niners. Oh, shit. The last game that we played in the regular season was damn near 70-80% Niner fans in our stadium. So, no, we do not want that. We don't want to show the camera on Fox and be like, oh, it's a sea
It was
red.
mentioned the whole game.
Red zone is literally the red zone. There was memes about it. I'm sure whoever's listening has seen the memes about Niners and Rams. Oh, shit. It's a Niners game. It's in San Francisco. Oh, no, it's not. It's in SoFi. You could have fooled me, but at the same time, this game, Stafford and Garoppolo, it's going to come down to, Stafford has made poor game time decisions, so has Garoppolo. But at the same time, though, they're going to be back in with the 2 best defenses in the postseason right now. And whatever Garoppolo is doing over there, whatever Kyle Shanahan's doing over there, it is winning fucking ball games. Same thing with McVay. Stafford has been clutch, but like I said, Niners gave him 2 losses this season.
Niners are getting the right guys back at the right time.
Yeah, and if Mostert comes back, shit.
Mostert won't. Based on what I'm seeing, because Mostert came out himself and said on Twitter, it was like, if y'all don't think that I'm trying to come back, you're crazy. He literally said
Either way, I don't think Mostert is going to make a huge impact.
No.
Because Elijah
just
Mitchell,
to have
Debo,
him.
Oh, yeah, just to have that additional arsenal.
Because he'd be a third down guy.
Yeah, I have Mostert in my back pocket. Let's go ahead. That's something that the Rams may not be expecting. But, we'll never...
I think if the Niners know behind closed doors, hey, we have Mostert, we'll go ahead and design our game plan with him in it.
Oh, Kyle's already,
in his back.
Rubbing his hands together and be like, I got Niner favor!
Yeah.
I'm about to fucking do this!
So, like, let's say Mostert is in it. I mean, I know Mostert more than likely not, because he hasn't been cleared.
Yeah.
And he would have been cleared already if he was ready. But what I'm saying is, if he's coming out personally and saying, hey, I'm trying to get cleared, if the Niners win this, Mostert's gonna be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I believe that 100%.
And basically, as the season is carried on, the healthier the Niners have gotten. Yep. Now, they are beat up, but they are getting people back as they're being beat up.
I've always said this, Niners are bruisers, man.
They're coming out. They're gonna come out with that run game. There's no doubt about it. Now, they're gonna also come out with some... Jimmy might throw more than he ever has in the postseason, just of where the location of the game is at.
He's gonna have to. Jimmy's gonna have to show up, but last game with Jimmy with Packers and Cowboys, there were so many.
Jimmy knows this is his last run.
Well,
Jimmy knows if he don't do it now, he's probably not gonna get another opportunity.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game, and I hope everyone possibly agrees with our predictions, because I feel like they're very, very fair on the facts that we have brought to the table. I think San Francisco will definitely win this game. I fully believe that the Bengals have a shot at winning that game, and I do back both of these teams 100%. I know Tyler does as well. So, this game is going to be very, very exciting to watch, and I'm so happy they made it prime time. We'll see. We will definitely see. There's so many weapons on either side of the ball on both of these teams. And Bosa's healthy, Kittle, Debo, they were injured, maybe just shooken up in the Green Bay game, but they're going to come back. LA, OBJ, Cooper, Higbee, Donald,
I think weather made it look a lot worse than what condition that they're actually in.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay, that was a frozen tundra.
That was 0-degree game.
Yeah,
everybody.
That was rough.
Yeah, that game made...
And it was snowing. Slick.
That game made hits look a lot worse. It made plays look a lot harder than they should have been.
Yeah.
Now that it's in a fair weather environment, neither team really has an excuse to play bad. It's really gonna. It more than likely is going to be a close game. If it isn't a close game, it's because either team is making a lot of mistakes. And if LA comes out and makes the same mistakes that they did against Tampa, and they were playing a beat up Tampa team that were missing a lot of people, they're not playing a beat up team in this matchup.
Yeah, LA was going against a hurt Jensen and a hurt.
Now, Trent Williams has not been announced as playing, but Kyle Shanahan has came out twice this week and said Trent does not plan on missing this game. He is going to be first half. Trent Williams is going to be suited up in the first half.
You're suiting up. NFC Championship, Super Bowl next. Yeah.
And Trent Williams has spent his whole career out of the postseason. He is going to suit up.
Pretty much, I think, honestly, we covered everything with this game.
Final prediction, just to wrap everything up.
I'm still sticking with 31-28 Niners.
That's a really high-scoring game for teams for the Niners not being a high-scoring team. 31, they've only reached maybe 2 or 3 times.
No, excuse me. 24-21.
It's either going to be 24-21 or the Niners are going to hold them down to possibly 10 to 14 points. There's too many offensive weapons for the Rams.
My damn head right now.
There's so many outcomes of this game. If the Niners show up like they did in the early half of the season against the Rams, this game might disappoint some people. Because the Niners' defense is at its healthiest. They didn't have Greenlaw when they beat the Rams. No. They didn't have... I think at one point, they didn't have a lot of the guys that they have out there right now. They didn't have Ambry Thomas out there. They didn't have Greenlaw. They didn't have... probably... Because it was so far back, but I don't think they even had Quan Williams. They didn't have a lot of guys that they have out there now.
Dude, this game, what we said about Kansas City. There's so many predictions, like you said. San Francisco is going to win by 3.
Basically,
That's what I'm going to say.
San Francisco, if they get to Stafford, if they can hold Stafford's passing game down and make the ball security of already questionable ball security of Cam Akers be the reason that the Rams do anything. Now, the Niners did face Cam Akers in the last game on a very limited load.
And Cam Akers did ball out.
He did ball out in his last game. He had to do his going off. But Cam Akers also showed he carries the ball like a loaf of bread.
That's true.
He does not put both hands on the ball very often.
So what was your final prediction?
I'm not trying to make it a tutty, but if I had to say the game it's gonna be 24-17.
Niners?
Yeah.
You know what, guys? I mean, that's our predictions. If you disagree, let's argue about it.
If the Rams win, it'll be 30-24. Just because their offense is high scoring. If the Niners win, it'll be a low scoring game on the Rams half. A decent scoring game on the Niners. Niners usually put up 24-ish points, 24 to 27 points. That's usually like their sweet spot. That's usually how much they score when they're holding a team down, because the defense is just making the other team go 3 and out a lot, or turnovers a lot. And that's how the Niners put up 20 plus points. Now, if the Niners defense doesn't show up, they'll probably lose 30-24, doing a whole catch-up roll, down probably 30-21 at one point, just playing catch-up. Kind of like, but if the Niners do what they did in the final week, where they literally played catch-up the whole game, and just defense showed up from the second quarter on, then the Rams are in a very, very, very... Because the Packers did the same thing to the Niners. They came out first drive and just fucking punched them right in the throat. And then, the Niners are like, hey, man, we're going to keep being right in your face. If they stay in the Rams' face, the Niners have it.
And I fully believe they will. I fully believe they will.
Oh, this game is personal.
Yeah. Divisional game.
The Rams are already... I feel like, in a way, they are shocked.
Yeah.
They are shocked.
I think the whole NFL... I don't think anyone wants to really say it, but, Bengals make it all the way to the AFC Championship. Then you got the Niners making it all the way to the NFC Championship. Getting past the 3rd seed. Cowboys getting past the 1st seed. Packers.
Now, whoever wins this game, who's going to be in it for the AFC? Who do you think is facing... Whoever wins this game, who are they facing next? Just to wrap up
we're going
this
to do
show.
the Super Bowl predictions? I mean,
no, I just want to jump into our future matchup. Who is the future matchup?
I think it's going to be Bengals-Niners.
Now, I'm just going to mention this. It was very, very long time ago. But last time the Bengals... last time the Bengals and the Niners were in it, it was a Super Bowl matchup.
What are you talking about, late 19s?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I think it was in the 80s, I want to say. But anyways, beside the point, last time Niners played the Bengals in the Super Bowl, they won. Whoever comes out of this game, I believe, is going to purely dominate.
Now, I mean, we could be totally wrong. We could be seeing...
Now, if the Niners have to play the Chiefs again, I don't know what it is about the Chiefs, but the Niners just... They can't figure them out.
I mean, it's Andy Reid, man.
Chiefs, I'm going to be real. I think the Chiefs might step their way back into the Super Bowl.
Well...
I really do see it.
I see it too. I mean, but hell, this is football. Anything can honestly happen. These underdogs made it all the way to these championship games. So, we'll see what happens with that. There's so much... I mean, we can go on and on about these two games, but I feel like we really covered this. I'm super excited. I know Tyler is as well for Sunday. See what the outcome of both of these games are, and then then we got Super Bowl next week, right?
Not next week.
No, not next week. No.
It'll be Pro Bowl and then Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It'll be like the middle of February. They pushed it.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Right
The
there.
extra game this week. The extra game this season pushed the Super Bowl a week later. And
It was a brain fart right there. But yeah, we're both excited for this matchup. It's going to be super exciting to see. Hopefully, it's another last weekend. That kind of type of football.
No, what I don't want from last weekend is what the Rams had.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to
turnovers. Yeah.
If I see the refs coming out with ridiculous calls like they had last week in this game, I'm gonna.
I think people can also agree with Bengals and Raiders too. Like, let's not have these controversial.
Now I know the media
calls,
didn't.
Man.
Just to wrap this up, I know the media didn't bring up the Rams Tampa game a whole lot just because of how the players handled it, but I almost want to say those officials from those games are not going to be a part of the officials in the Super Bowl or this game.
No,
or the other game.
No, I don't think so either.
Those officials did not make the cut.
No. Same thing with Raiders and Bengals, man.
None of those officials made the committee for the Super Bowl game.
No.
They all get graded, and I'm pretty sure the last game got a pretty low grade. That was a definitely like C+ out of those refs.
No, and I agree. But yeah, just
that's pretty much wraps it up, everybody. We'll be back next week with
yes, we will.
We'll be talking about who's playing the Super Bowl and how these games went.
Yes,
We're gonna be giving a recap. Mainly, actually, Monday will be the recap. I'm hoping Monday will be the recap. You know, depending on schedules and how life decides to throw a curveball. Basically, we plan on giving y'all an episode for Monday.
We definitely try to give you guys as much as we can, given both of our... I mean, we both work 2 different schedules.
Now, I do want to mention, we changed the way we recorded this time.
Yes, we did.
We learned our lesson. I'm hoping that this works out compared to last time.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I'm assuming this is going to work. This will be out soon. You guys will be... Well, I mean, no one's going to be tapping in at 1 a.m, but...
Never know, man. You might have the... Never know. You can just go work out, 24-hour fitness.
You know, yeah, I mean... Saturday ain't a whole lot of... There's actually no sporting things going on.
No, there's not. Besides hockey, I think. But
no one's...
Either way, guys... I'm wearing a Dallas Star shirt. Next to me. What the fuck? But either way, guys, like, don't forget, we said in our last episode, subscribe. I mean, we are making changes.
Oh, and also don't forget, give it a rating on all the podcast platforms. Give us 5 stars.
Give us a follow as well.
I know for a fact that that's on Spotify right now. It gives us feedback telling us whether or not you like our content. Please rate the show. Please give us feedback on what you want to hear.
If you don't like the show, just fucking click off. Okay?
Yeah, just act like it never happened.
Yeah. All right, just keep it fucking moving at that point. But we're making changes to the to the episodes.
Here in the near future, we've mentioned it, I think, like now for the 3rd week in a row.
Yeah.
Or going on to the 3rd week. Next week will be the 3rd week. We do plan on having a much better setup for the both of us when we do remote shows. We are also going to be having some talks about basically how we want the show to look like moving forward, as in what we will cover.
Yes.
How we will be presenting the show, basically platform-wise.
But don't worry, though. That is after the NFL season.
This is after the NFL season.
Yep.
We have quite a few decisions to make in the upcoming future on how we want to present the show.
It will still be us.
It will still be us, but we are trying to figure out whether or not we need to adjust who we're running it through. Yep. We're not going to mention who we're running it through right now. I mean, it's pretty obvious who we're running it through right now. It's helped tremendously, but we've noticed some limitations.
Yes.
And if we want it to grow, we need to get on a more controlled by us a little bit more. And that's for the future. Basically, the quality is going to improve. Quality right now is just because we put this together and we feel as if we have enough content in our heads and ideas and topics to talk about to where we don't necessarily need quality at the moment. I mean, that would be very ideal, but as time goes on, the setting of the show is going to change.
Yes, it will.
Just due to the fact that we know in the future that things are not going to be the same moving forward. Next week will be the Super Bowl predictions, recap of the championship games, and then after that, we'll probably have a few NFL offseason episodes coming out after that, to where we'll be speaking on. We didn't really mention all the hirings that have been happening. We have been keeping track of them.
Yes, we have.
But we want the season to wrap up before we even bring up coaching hires, because right now, so far, there's been a couple, 3 or 4 hirings that haven't really they made an impact, but nothing's carried over with them.
Nothing super shocking.
Yeah, nothing super shocking because those teams were expected to hire coaches, but nothing player-wise has changed.
Right.
So those hirings don't really mean a whole lot until we see some transactions happen.
Right.
As in, just for example, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the two right now that everyone's waiting on to find out. Obviously, nothing's going to happen because the playoffs are still going on, and there's a lot of players on other teams right now in the postseason that are going to be off these teams. More than likely.
Potentially, yeah.
More than likely, depending on the seasons pan out. Other than that, we're going to wrap this up. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, all of the above.
And if you don't like it, just click off.
And if you don't like it, just act like it never happened.
Exactly.
And I think we've said that 3 or 4 times now. And thank you for listening.
One love.
Peace out, everybody.
One love.